What is up you guys, Jury here and welcome back to a new video. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. In this video, I'm going to explain why I switched from Gnome to KDE Plasma. It's not what you actually think, it has to do with one open source software, OBS. With that being said, ever since I started making Linux gaming content, my main desktop environment has been Gnome. I've been using it for almost 2 years now across distributions like Ubuntu, Fedora, Arch, and even CachyOS. I did use KDE Plasma before on Fedora, if you've watched these two videos. But Gnome just felt right for me. What I liked about it wasn't just the smoothness of the desktop environment, but also its stability. It honestly just worked, which is exactly what most users want, right? But recently I ran into one problem that I just couldn't fix, and I eventually gave up trying: OBS recording. Whenever I tried to record full screen content on Wayland or play a game in full screen, I would get weird glitches or skipped frames. See for yourself.
What is that? What the f is that?
As you saw, there were frames freezing and flickering. Sometimes it even captured my desktop for a split second. I literally tried everything: different OBS versions, both system and Flatpak, typing terminal commands like this one to disable Gnome's direct scanout, switching sessions, and honestly, nothing worked. From what I understand, this seems to be related to how Gnome's Wayland compositor handles screen capture through pipewire, especially with full screen applications. The only workaround was using window capture instead of screen capture in OBS. It works, but obviously it only captures one window, and that's not really a full solution. And if I'm being honest, I started to get a bit tired of Gnome. Don't get me wrong, it's one of the most consistent desktop environments I've used. It has smooth animations, a clean design, it's very user-friendly, and it works the same across basically every distribution. And extensions do make it customizable to some extent. But Gnome prioritizes security and stability, and that means certain things like screen capture are more restricted. And it's not just screen capture, it can be anything that requires deeper system access. Especially if you're someone who prefers the flexibility that X11 used to offer, Gnome can feel a bit limiting. So I decided to give KDE Plasma another try. I hadn't used it seriously in a while, like in 2 years, because in the past I ran into graphical glitches and bugs. And because of that, Gnome was my main desktop environment. But this time, it was completely different. I installed KDE manually using these commands. This installs the core KDE desktop with network support, and I only added extra components when I actually needed them. So yeah, just these essentials. No extra apps, no bloat. Just a clean Plasma setup. After that, I started customizing everything, adjusting settings, trying different themes, colors, etc. And obviously KDE is way more customizable than Gnome. So I went from this to this. This is how my KDE setup looks right now. And to be honest, I am satisfied with the way it looks. But honestly, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many ways to customize KDE. Then I opened OBS, started recording, and went full screen in a game. And it just worked. No glitches, no flickering, no weird behavior, just normal recording. And honestly, I felt relieved. Obviously, KDE's compositor handles screen capture differently, especially on Wayland. So full screen recording behaves much more reliably. This should not come as a surprise, but KDE Plasma is way more customizable without relying on extensions. Unlike Gnome, where if a huge update comes out, let's say Gnome 50 or Gnome 51, some extensions will break and it will take days or even weeks until that extension works properly. Another advantage I didn't realize is that KDE is actually resource usage efficient, especially when it's idle. Unlike Gnome, even when it's idle, it still eats some of your resources. And that to me is honestly surprising. And for someone like me who records content regularly, that makes a huge difference. So in conclusion, Gnome's still amazing. If you want stability, simplicity, and a clean workflow, it's one of the best desktop environments you can use. But if you care about customization, flexibility, and even recording, KDE Plasma might be the better choice. And for me, it fixed a problem I couldn't solve for weeks. But what do you guys think? Have you experienced this issue before? Let me know down in the comments. With that being said, it's your boy Juri, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.